What's going on, gang? It's been a minute since the last video, but I am back with a new video and an update for, my guys, my supporters, and those that, just been wanting to know what's up with 𝗬s, right? A lot of things have been happening. A lot of things have been changing. And I just want to, make a transparent video, with you guys that's been supporting me, supporting this page, supporting this movement. And I just want to get more connected with you guys so again, what's been going on and, what's to come. So before we get into all of that, please make sure you are following this page, subscribing to the channel, turning bell notifications on so you can be updated with the new videos that I will be dropping, and just staying connected and supporting, man. This channel is going to be something very important to me. This channel is going to be something where I pour a lot of myself into, to those that do not know me and to those that, do know me and want to continue supporting me and being a part of this journey. So please make sure you are following the pages. Everything will be in the link in bio, the description. And yeah, man. What I first want to get into is a major thing that's just been going in my life that I'm sure a lot of brothers can relate. A lot of young brothers, older men, little boys, to again, grown men. So if you are a male, if you are a black man, this message is something you probably can relate to. And if not, just listen. If you know somebody that's in it and not you, maybe this can help you understand them better. So that way you can be a better friend, a better brother, or support system in their life, right? One thing that has been a major thing that I've been recently just dealing with and discovering and working through is this concept of being raised in a world where there aren't many black men or black fathers, and there is a issue or conflict with that issue. So there's a direct correlation to young men, families without fathers in their home or without men, and a direct reflection to or correlation to how young men are being raised and how men are being perceived, right? So one thing that I've noticed in my generation, with the parents that raised me and the parents that raised a lot of other young men that's in my situation is they didn't address these issues. They did not address their lack of. They did not address the things that we did not have growing up in order to properly make sure that we knew what we needed to grow up, right? And I hope that didn't go over your head, so I'm gonna say it again. We were not told or giving the tools or directions or the understanding of the things that we did not receive as we were growing up to understand what we needed in our lives to grow up, right? So as a young man, as a young black man, being raised by a single mother is the big thing. And because of that, due to that, there are things that I did not receive. There are things that was not promoted, was not pushed in my upbringing. So that way, as I reach a certain age or a certain milestone in my life as a young man, I am equipped with those things, right? And this is not a blame game. This is not a blame message. This is not a faulting message. This is a reality check. This is a coming to terms and coming to grips with reality so that way I understand myself as a young man growing up and also can understand others in their troubles and their issues that they had. So this is just a reality talk and a reality statement by saying there were things that were not given to me as I was growing up, so that way I could know what to have or what to do once I reached a certain point, right? And this has been, for me, my life, because throughout my years of growing up, I knew that I didn't have a father because he wasn't there, but I also didn't know what it was like to have a father or a man, like I never had that feeling of having a man in your household, having a man teach you things, having a man instill things in you. And I think that's the part that is the lack. So um, it's not about my mother doing something wrong. It's about me not having a certain thing as I was growing up, right? And as men, older men, when we discussing these things, we can't skip over things, as much as it may be hard to talk about, as much as it may be uneasy, uncomfortable, we have to acknowledge certain things in our life that has gotten us to a place of, wherever you at. And that's the part I had to face, I got to where I'm at because I did not have a father or a man figure in my life. And that part is why I'm here today, creating the InnerG way, creating a place for men to share, a place for men to open and be expressive of these things, so that way we can get more comfortable in conversations that can help us, and we can get comfortable with talking about things that, we need help with. And that's been pretty much the last 2.5 years of my life, going through certain doors that I did not see many men go through, experiencing things that I haven't seen many men experience, and not having proper guidance to get through those things. So, since probably 2021, I've pretty much been trying to deprogram and get myself together, so that way, I learn myself more. I'm better able to handle myself and have a more control over myself, in situations and dealings with, people, and just myself in general. And it's been hard because it hasn't been something that's been shown, it hasn't been something that I've been very vocal or, expressive about. However, I've been going through it, and experiencing it in my personal life. So, at the age that I'm at, there isn't a lot of people my age focused on the things that I'm focused on. And for me, that sets me apart as a man, as a man amongst other men or other, young men, younger brothers, because the things that I'm focused on are the things that I want to change, so that way it doesn't happen again, right? A lot of things in our men's lives, we get told the issue, we may even recognize the issue, but there's very few that actually takes action and makes those changes, right? And in my mind, in my perspective, and hear me out, how I view the world in 2023 right now is that everything that we once was doing for the last 10, 15, 20, 25 years will no longer be the same thing we can do the next 5, 10, 15, 25 years, And with that in mind, to me as men, we must shift our focus on the things that we thought we needed as much to the things that we didn't even know that we needed. You feel me? Like, we need to switch that focus. And one major thing for me has been, money. It's a sensitive subject, but it's a subject that we must keep in on, right? For the last fucking 500 years or so, the focus of men has been money, wealth, which is understood, because the fact of the matter is, wanting money, wanting wealth, wanting ownership, wanting self-sustainability is not just a man thing. That is a human thing. That is, all humans should want that. All humans should need and want financial freedom, financial independence, ownership in their name. They want materialistic things. They want to have fun. They want to do these things. All of these things that can make somebody want to have wealth and status and money. It's a human thing. It just so happened men are better at getting the money and the wealth. That's just how it's been. Men are better at that. But that is not saying women cannot get that, or kids should not aspire to be that, or even old people cannot get that. Everybody deserves and can get wealth, money, status, financial freedom, and self-sustainability, right? Now, in this new age, in this new world that we're going into, there must be a shift in the focus for men, right? And I'm not saying you can't be focused on money. I'm not saying don't be focused on wealth and your stuff. Yes, focus on that, because if you're good at it, keep doing it, right? But the issue comes in is, if you have men continuing to focus on the same things that we was once focused on for the last 25, 50 years, what really changed is going to happen within men, right? Like, I want that to be a question. Please answer it in the comments, share it, start a conversation. But if men are continuing to focus on the same things that our grandparents was focused on, our fathers, our late ancestors, if we continue to focus on those things, what will really change for us and our futures to come? It just we are showing them that we should be focused on the same things as before, right? Now, where I'm coming in to change, or to be a part and to be aware of what's happening, is, as men that is growing, that are evolving, that are becoming more comprehensive, it cannot just be about money and wealth at this point. We have to dig a little bit deeper. We have to figure out certain things that we may not have ever known, right? And to me, that is the key factor in this whole thing on why you have deadbeat fathers, you have men that don't know what to do, you have women out here, not protected, you have families out here not being, raised properly with the right ideologies and the right, masculinity that needs to be in a family. All of these issues leads to one point, and that one point is men's focus are not on the right things. Men's focus are on the wrong things. Men's focus are on things that other people want them to be focused on, that truly isn't in the best interest of the man. And these things that men think that we should be focused on are really taking us farther and farther and farther away from the things that we really need, and the things that we really should inspire for ourselves and for our families. So what I've been just practicing and doing is, again, deprogramming my mind and reprogramming it to fit a life that I want, and also fit the energy and space that I'm at. And I just think that because I've been doing that for the last 2.5 years, my mind has expanded so much that my thinking of what I thought a man should be, and what I grew up hearing that a man should be, has changed so much. And it's crazy that nobody was telling me these things. I didn't have nobody telling me these things, And the unfortunate part is that I had to figure these things out on my own. You know, I had to figure these things out going through trials and tribulations, going with, you know, out certain knowledge and without certain, you know, guidance. So, you know, I've stumbled a lot in my life. You know, I bumped my head. It's funny that, you know, I used to, you know, have a friend, and, you know, she was, you know, asking me things and, you know, questions about, well, why do you go through what you go through, and why do you do this? And one thing that I told her was, I'm the type of person that even if you tell me that you just burnt your hand on the stove, I'm gonna have to put my hand on the stove to see if it really does burn, right? Because anybody can tell you don't do something just because they don't want to do it, they haven't really done it, or they're just too scared to do it, right? So they can just tell you, hey, don't do that, that ain't worth it, don't do that, you don't need to do that, I already did it, right? But in my life, in my experiences, a lot of times when somebody told me not to do something and I've done it, my experiences turn out way different than theirs, simply because I did it and I could process it and do it in a way that they couldn't. So I've never been the type to hear somebody tell me don't do something and not do it. So even in bad things, if people say, hey, don't go down there, it's dark. Hey, don't go down there, it's rough. Or hey, don't go down there, you know, I didn't make it out, or I almost didn't make it out. To me, that's a sign that, well, two signs. Part of me, you know, my rebel, you know, I'm a rebel. So if somebody tell me don't do something, instantly, in naturally, it's going to say do it, because somebody said don't do it, right? But then also part is, well, just because it didn't play out for you doesn't mean that it wouldn't play out for me. So I'm very optimistic in that way. So even like I said, the stove situation, even if I put my hand on that same fire that burnt the other person, that person may not be used to the fire, may not be used to the heat, so they got burnt quick. But for me, it's a test. It's like, okay, I put my hand on it, okay, it's hot, but I didn't burn myself. Okay, it's getting hotter, but I didn't burn myself. Okay, now it's hot. Now I'm getting to that point. Okay, let me take my hand off because now it's burning, right? But the thing is that most people would see that as a burn and hurt. But for me, I would see that as, okay, this is what I can take. This is my capacity, you know? It's higher than others, clearly. If I stayed on that stove for 15 seconds and the first person only stayed on it for 5 seconds, that tells you something. That shows you the durability and the endurance that one can take, right? And this is how I think in life, and how I think about certain moves and things that I've experienced, is even the bad things that I've been through, even the things that I've had to experience on my own and for myself, these were things that made me a better man, made me a better person. And in the end, it ultimately just worked out for me, because now I know how hot I can go. You know, I now know my levels. I now know my boundaries and the things that works for me. Not because somebody told me it gets hot that fast, or not because somebody said, hey, I got burnt, don't do that. So, you know, with everything happening right now, I'm willing, and I think I have the confidence to go through these things that I didn't have the chance to ask my father about, or I didn't have the chance to ask, you know, a lot of men about, because they haven't experienced, you know, to this extent. You know, they didn't question a lot of things. They didn't raise eyebrows or have conversations that I'm having and talking about. So there was a lot of men that, even though there were men around, they couldn't even process or be equipped with the knowledge that I'm referring to. So that way, you know, seeing that, I have to go through it. I have to have the uncomfortable conversations. I have to have the strength to break through to reach these pivotal moments in a man's life that makes him from a boy to a man, or makes him from a man to a better man. And man, it's been a lot, you know. And I'm just sharing it and sharing this because a lot of brothers don't get to share this side. They don't get to share this point of view. And you know, as you can see, man, I'm in a place where I never thought that I would be at. You feel me? Like, I'm at a place right now, literally at a place right now, I never seen my life being at. I've never seen my life coming to this point. However, with all of the information that I've known or gathered, with the deprogramming, with, you know, the wisdom that I've learned over the years, through the trials and tribulations I've been through the losses, through the downs, it makes this timing where I'm at, it makes it more fulfilling, knowing that where I'm at is a place that many men don't get to be at to become better. Many men do not get to live a life that I've lived. The just the movements, you know, going here, going there, doing this when you want, you know, really being in charge of your own time. A lot of men do not get to see that, as well as the downs of it. You know, a lot of men don't get to reach the top to reach the bottom. So they never really see either or. They never really see the top of the top, and they never really see the bottom of the bottom. And in my situation, you know, many of you may not know, but, you know, I was a popular graphic designer, you know, from, let's say, 2015 to you know, 2021, like right before COVID happened. So, you know, I was on a run of being a popular designer, of being a go-to guy, of being in demand for a long time, for a very long time. You know, if you want to search, Google 𝗫𝗫𝗃, you know, you can go check, go do your research, you know, see who I've worked with, see some designs, see some work, see some, you know, articles about me. And you can see, you know, kind of gauge of where I was at. But a lot of men don't even reach that point to reach a point of where I'm at now, that, you know, I realized a lot of things that I've worked for and was so focused, driven on, and, you know, just so, this is what I got to be doing, you know, the grind culture. A lot of people don't get to reach that point of burnouts, you know, losing yourself, you know, being so focused on one thing that you lose sight of other things, and now other things are crumbling around you that you didn't even know was crumbling. That's a place that I didn't get to see my father be at. I didn't get to see my grandfather be at, and I didn't get to see many men be at. And a lot of men that are in those positions don't have those men to follow, or to help guide them, right? And, you know, again, a part of being in that world, or that motion, you know, not thinking about a mentor at the time was also something that didn't click in my head, simply because, yeah, just that timing. You know, mentor talk wasn't a big thing in my family or my world at the time. Not even growing up, you know, there was no OG that I had around. There was no, you know, neighborhood 𝗓𝗓𝗍, you know, just person, figure that was around that you could go to and get game from and get some wisdom. And, you know, that wasn't around when I was, you know, growing up. So in my mind, anything that I needed to know as a man, I had to get it on my own. So even, you know, starting a business, you know, going through the business and all that. And that's another topic, or that's a conversation for another day. But the point is, where I'm at now, I realized a lot of those things that I was, or that I thought was what I needed to be focused on, was not what I needed to be focused on at all. I just fell into the trap. I just fell right into the same system that they want us to be in. And I didn't even realize it. You know, I truly didn't realize the amount of systematic, you know, programming that I was in prior to this moment. But being in that space and those mindsets led me to this moment of realizing that I was in that system and I was in that programming, and having to get out of that system and get out of that programming. And that's just the big thing with where we at now in 2023. This world does not care about where Black men are at. They don't. And we must stand up for ourselves and realize that we are going to be the change that we need. Nobody is coming to save us. Nobody is truly caring about seeing Black men get better. And I hate to say that, but it is the truth. And Black men must accept the truth. That is the only way that we will get better for ourselves. Because if we don't accept that truth, if we don't accept this one key truth, we're going to think somebody is coming to save us. And that is far from the case. So stop delaying. Stop thinking somebody is coming to save you. Stop thinking people really, truly, genuinely care. They don't. Once you get that in your head, they don't. Man, focus on yourself. Get educated. Get stronger mentally and physically. And find the things that you will need to make you a better man. Because every man is different. Every man, the things that's going to make you better may not make me better. The things that make me better may not make you better. So once we come to the understanding that nobody cares about us, not your mama, not your girlfriend, not your sister, not your right-hand man, not the government that you wake up every day and go work for and do all this stuff for, none of these people really care about you. Hard truth. Swallow that pill right now and digest it. Once you do that, the next remaining years of your life and your foresight into your future will be so much better and so much clearer, because you're not worried about what such and such is going to think. You're not worried about what such and such is going to say. You're not worried about what such and such is doing or not doing. It don't matter what such and such, because they don't give a F about you. So why are you caring about what they got to say for your life, right? Why? It doesn't make sense. So once you accept that truth, nobody cares, your life will start at that point. And that's something that I had to realize. You know, I didn't have the father, the person telling me, hey, this is what it is. I had to realize that on my own. I had to realize that for myself, that that's true. You know, you want to think that people care. You want to think that people is there for you, you know, even when you're going through hard times. But they're not there. They only care if you can produce and can provide value. If you can't do any of those two, you're useless. I don't know. I don't even know what people think of Black men if they're not providing or protecting. It's like they're just useless, to be honest. But here's where us as Black men cannot fall into that trap. We are not useless if we are not providing or protecting. We are not useless if we say no. We are not useless if we do not have it at the moment, right? And that's where we can't fall victim to that trap, to believe that because to other people, they believe our only two values is to provide and protect, that if we have 3, 4, 5, 6 values, that these 3 don't matter. Or what's that? Yeah. Let me say that again. If we cannot fall into the trap that will allow people to put us in a box. So to people that think that we only can provide and protect, we have 3 more other things that is value to us. So if these 2 we ain't doing, but we got these 3 right here, we are still very much valuable. Now, who sees that value will be dependent on who you allow into your life, right? But don't think that just because these 2 not right there at the moment, these 3 is still not valuable, right? These 2, you may be injured, so you can't protect somebody that's you injured. How you gonna protect somebody if you injured? You know, you may lost your job or something. How you gonna pay for things if you going through a transition of, you know, short on funds or low money, right? So these 2 things may not always be there at the moment, but then you have these other 3, you know, things that you can do. Man, you went to school, you got education in how to build stuff, so you can even teach people how to build. You got experience, man. You've been through so much things that people could come to you on your deathbed and still learn from you, right? Knowledge, wisdom. Shit, the resources you got. You know people that people don't know. Hey, hey, what you need? You need a job somewhere? You need this? You need that? Let me make a phone calls. I got you. So it's a whole lot of things that we as men can produce from who we are and what we've done. However, in the world and today's society, those things are not seen as valuable. You know, those things are not seen as what a man should be doing. And again, like I said, you know, I'm trying to break down everything that was once said we should focus on and what makes us, and changing it. Because in this new age, it's a new world order, it's a new timing. People change, people evolve just as much as the world evolves and history evolves. And this is that timing. So with this timing, I just think all brothers should take the time to really, if you are between the ages of 16, you know, high school, you about to go to college or stuff like that, to damn near, you know, you 25, 26, you just about to start, you know, living your life and your career, you flourishing. If you are between those ages, it is very important that you focus on you and finding out the things that make you who you are. Even the bad things. Even understanding the bad things in you, the demons, the toxic, the things that you just not too sure of. Figuring those out will help you be a better man, because most men ignore those things. Most men don't even think that they have issues. So if you are a man right now, not only figuring out your issues and learning them and dealing with them, but also acknowledging them, like acknowledging and seeing you have these issues, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing you can do, is not only acknowledging and seeing those issues or seeing the issues, but acknowledging them. Yeah, you may not be the best man that you thought you was. Yeah, you may not be the best communicator. Yeah, you may not be the best lover. Yeah, you may not be the best this and that. But once you accept that and you own that, the work is easy from there, because you now know what you need to fix. You now know what you got to change. So if you are one of those men that are knowing that you keeping it G real with yourself, you keeping it 100, you ain't faking the funk, you ain't trying to, you know, once you get to that point, you will know what you need to change and what you need to do, which will in turn make the process even smoother. because you know it now. You're not figuring out. You're not hearing from other people. Oh, you this, you that. And no, you did the work. You figured it out. You looked yourself in the mirror and told yourself, this is where I need to do better. This is where I'm messing up at. And to my G's, man, that's what we got to do. And I hope this video, if you made it to this point, I hope I shared something that you could relate to. I hope that you heard something that helped you out. If there's anything that you did hear, relate to, leave a comment so that way I can know what's up with you guys that's watching this, so that way I can just get a gauge or sense of how you guys are watching this, or how you guys are as you are watching it. So yeah, today's video, I just wanted to give an update on where I'm at, what I've been going through, and what I wish for you guys, my G's, to do moving forward. This is a timing where they're doubting us. They're canceling us out. They are killing us, literally. And if we as G's can get into this energy where only we know what we can be doing in that energy, right? If we can get to that space, not even as a unit, as much as I would love the brotherhood, I think we gotta cool off on the brotherhood for a minute and just focus on self, right? We gotta understand what we want as men. Not what we want to do collectively as men, but what you want as a man, what you want, what y'all want that's watching this video. What do y'all want as men in your life? And I urge and challenge you guys to ask yourselves that question after you get done this video. Write it down, think about it. Just getting these answers now will help us save our future selves and the kids that we bring in. Knowing yourself right now will give you a better chance of raising your son or daughter or families in the next few years, simply by you answering yourself or asking yourself this question. And the question is what it is that you want to be, as a man. What do you believe in? What are you fighting for? In a world where you don't see many men fighting for anything. So I'm going to leave this out, man. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, so please make sure you subscribe, you following the page. Please make sure to follow on all platforms, on Instagram, Twitter, the InnerG Way or InnerG Way. And man, yeah, man, I want to start engaging and talking to you guys. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I want to hear how you guys are feeling on the topics that I'm bringing up and sharing, so that way we can have a more inclusive conversation and get to know more perspectives and ideas. If any of you guys want to tap in with me on live, Instagram live, do a videos, anything, man, email me. I'm definitely looking forward to speaking with more brothers. I'm definitely looking forward to sharing my thoughts and hearing other brothers' thoughts and being more engaging with you guys, knowing that during this world, during this time, many men don't have a place to go to. Many men don't have a place to share certain things and ideas. They feel ashamed. They feel like they can't. So if anything, I want you guys to know that this platform is that platform. Email me, DM me, comment, and just let me know what's up. So that way, we can share, we can get open, and we can become better men for tomorrow. My name is Nas. This is the InnerG Way, and I'm out.